Okay, everybody, I have just been greeted by security, and they were very nice and telling me where I could be set up, and and it's where I wanted to go anyway. So, yeah, I have to tuck in my hair here. Oh, I handed out 2 cards. I wanted to be here before 11:30, and I am. Under the bridge. Hey, you want a card, guys? Did you ever look into this? Did you ever look into it? No? Type in that website down at the bottom and I'll get you started. Yeah, that's all right. Go ahead. Really? Come out here and talk to me about it, big boy. How you doing? Like a pizza. Come out here, chicken. Come out here and look. Okay. Well, I can't do that. Okay. Okay. Yeah. That's good. Hey, you ever hear of this before? Did you know there's scientific evidence? There's no curve. There's no curve. If you, this is the map. If you type in that down at the bottom there, it'll start you on your journey.
Thank you.
And you can look at it. But this is the map they use in the United Nations and all these world organizations. But you know they leave off Antarctica. You know why? Because Antarctica goes all the way around the outside edge. That's what holds in the water. It doesn't spill over like they're mocking us and say.
But my question is, how about when it comes to places like San Francisco, since it's on the coast, and they're a lot hillier, since Earth is flat, how come people don't fall off the edge of that?
Because Antarctica holds everything in.
Yeah, but San Francisco isn't connected to Antarctica.
Right, so, yeah, I know. But it's all on a flat plain.
Yeah.
See, like here's Antarctica right over here. I mean, San Francisco's right down there. There's the United States. So it's all held in, and the oceans are in there, and it's flat, the surface. I don't know what's underneath. I don't go there underneath. Here you go, guys. You can look this stuff up. I can go over this in about 60 seconds and show you some stuff. Do you ever hear about it? You like science?
The flat Earth, yeah.
You talk about science with anybody?
I just don't think this would be the one flat planet.
No, I know, it sounds crazy. That's what I thought 2.5 years ago, but it's true. You know what? There's absolutely no curvature. Look, there's a curvature formula. There's a formula for that. And you go off Pythagorean theorem to get that with the radius of the Earth, okay? And there's absolutely no curvature. I can go to Wildwood and see Atlantic City, 32.6 miles away, which should be under 681 feet of curvature, but it's not. That's a 68-story building. And you can see all the way to the shore, the beach. So yeah, this is absolutely true. And they're hiding it from us, just like they're hiding a lot of things. You know, right down the street, you have a hyperbaric unit that treats autistic children. You know why? You know why that's not covered by insurance? Because they don't want us to know that hyperbarics cures people.
This is one of those research conspiracies where, you know, the whole thing that the government lied to us about the truth, about what's real, not.
Well, I'm telling you the science behind it. This is the science, and you have to decide for yourself what is true. Okay, I'm not telling you what's true. You're going to have to figure that out. I'm just telling you that this is the flat Earth map. Antarctica goes around the outside edge. All these world organizations use the flat Earth map, but they leave off Antarctica. We can see Chicago 60 miles away, and that should be under 1,700 feet of curvature according to a formula. If you don't like my formula, you got to figure out one of your own.
Huh. Okay then.
So you figure it out. Hey guys, did you ever hear of this?
Yeah, I did. Hear what?
That the Earth is really a flat plane, it's not a spinning ball. There's a website on the other side at the bottom down there, and you can type that in. Do you have any? What's your first question as to, you know, how could this possibly be? What's the first thing that pops in your mind?
What's your source?
Okay, well, the source is, here's all these world organizations using a flat Earth map, but they leave off Antarctica. Antarctica goes all the way around the outside edge. This map was taken out of the Boston Library. So it's a legit map. So here we have Chicago, 60 miles across Lake Michigan. According to this formula, it should be under 1,700 feet of curvature. You know, curvature. We don't find any curvature anywhere. And we're finding that these things, here you can see, if it's a curved surface, a reflection will be a spot. But if it's a flat surface, the reflection will be a line. So this is reality right here. You see a line on a sunset. You don't see just a little spot. So you got to look at the world around you. Only science is only true if it matches the reality around you. Want one, sir? Okay. Right? Science can only be true if it matches our reality. So you got to test all your science against reality. And what I'm finding here is here's reality. This is star trails. You leave your camera aperture open at North Pole in the center, Polaris, right? And then you get the star trails. But what do they teach us in the school? This. They say Milky Way's moving, the sun's moving, all the planets are zinging around. You know, it adds up to like 1,000,000 miles an hour. So do you think we'd get star trails with a model like that? No.
But they say we all revolve around the sun.
Yeah, there's the sun right there. And it's moving.
Yeah,
So
in the model, the sun isn't the thing moving the most. It's saying that all the planets are going around.
everything is moving.
Around.
Yeah, but it's moving through the vast universe, right? So, all right, so are you saying that, here, my hand is moving, so my fingers are not moving? Yeah,
I'm saying
okay.
if your hand was to move and I were to follow your hand at the point.
Okay,
I would
so,
still be the same people.
okay, so then it's really not moving, is it?
No, it's still moving. It's
No,
just at the
it's
rate.
relative to each other. It has to be, they're saying it's not, they're moving and it's not, everything's not following.
So you-
They're saying this. They're saying that the planets are all spiraling around, trying to catch up.
What I'm saying is both, just because
Welcome.
so when because of viewage and how fast you're moving miles per hour, and it just may look like they're not moving consistent with each other. The only way to tell is if their distance has changed over time.
Yeah.
By degrees.
This is how you tell, right here. You into science? You ever hear of this Michelson-Morley?
No, I've never heard of Michelson.
Sagnac? Aries failure? Did you ever hear of any of those experiments? Take a picture of that and go look up those experiments and tell me what you think of those.
Good morning.
How you doing?
How are you?
Good.
So what you do?
So these experiments have been around for hundreds of years and they're not being taught in the schools. And these books here, written by doctors and scientists, are kept out of the schools. Like so what I'm saying, schools censor evidence.
Yeah,
Why would they do that?
Because if you're on a spinning ball, then, want one of these, sir? Okay. Would you like one? You can take a picture, it's fine. So if you're on a spinning ball, you're denying your senses, okay? And you also have to accept the Big Bang Theory. Big Bang Theory says nothing exploded, but then all this material was thrown out into space and friction made everything into a ball, right? And it's all spinning, even though one of the planets is spinning backwards. Tell me that one. So it's rotating the opposite. Huh?
Which one? Which planet?
Was it, I don't know, was it Uranus or something? I have to look that one up, but I know one of them is. So you can look it up and you can disagree with me.
I'm getting information.
Okay, good, good. That's what I'm trying to do is give you information. But yeah, if you believe in a spinning universe and it was all random, that's a whole lot different than a flat plane with a dome over the top.
So you believe
There is a
So
dome.
we went to the edge and hit a wall. That's what you're saying.
I'm saying that Admiral Byrd went down there in the 50s and he found something because he kept losing planes because they were crashing into something they couldn't see. Did you ever look into Admiral Byrd? Antarctica. Here you go. You can look this up.
So if you were,
Thank you.
so what you're saying is, if I were to fly a plane over what ocean, and I were to fly straight,
Well, first off, they would never let you near Antarctica because they have an Antarctic treaty and you can't get past the 60th parallel or they shoot you and ask questions later. That's what's happening down there.
So is that
It's all militarily protected. So you cannot go there as an individual and explore.
So I would. So if I were
Sure.
if I say I had allowance to do that, and I say I was allowed to do that, if I sailed a ship, at what point would I hit the wall, or?
You would hit Antarctica. And here's Antarctica right there.
And then if
That's
I were to
Antarctica. Captain
do that
Cook.
by foot, at what point would I fall off?
Well, John Kerry, Senator John Kerry, went down there and he flew in 300 miles from the edge of Antarctica.
Okay.
That was in a newspaper. Now, what was he doing down there? Why did he go 300 miles? And they're doing religious ceremonies down there. What for? What for? What is that all about? I don't know, but it's awful weird to me. Seems weird to me. I can answer questions. I can give you some basic stuff to look up, but you all have to decide for yourself if this is true.
There's no the point I'm getting at is I'm not getting
Sir.
I'm not getting a lot of factual base. Every time I ask a question, it ends with the answer of, well, somebody went down there at this time and we don't know why. It's something.
Yeah, we
happened.
don't. But I can tell you for a fact there's no curvature. I can tell you that for a fact.
I have a question.
Okay? There's no curvature.
I have a question.
Okay.
So I see you're holding this thing, right? And I guess it's supposed to prove that the Earth is flat.
No, this proves that there's a curvature formula because I take this down to the Ocean City. I have a YouTube channel called Maryland Spirit Level. If you go on this website, you'll see a lot of us who go out and teach.
Okay, but you know how we have astronauts and everything, right? And they take pictures of
You ready for this? You want to sit down when I tell you this? There is no outer space. There is there are no astronauts.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
No?
How do you justify?
I know
how do you
that.
Justify Earth staying in orbital plane.
It's not in orbit.
So then what's up?
Wait, how do you?
So
how
what
do you,
the hell is Earth?
Wait, how do you justify
This-
the ozone layer and us not being because
You're being
technically-
told a lot of stuff.
So technically,
That's not
scientifically,
true.
If the Earth was
I
any
have
closer to
another
the sun,
question.
we would all be dead.
Do you have Did our school grant you permission to come and give us this information?
I'm here on free speech. Okay. I'm here on free speech, and I don't need permission to be outside in a public space. Okay?
What is space? The space is not space.
Okay. There is no outer space.
There is no
Okay, that was the very first thing I looked up 2.5 years ago. I even had a group of science people, science-minded people who met in my house every week. And somebody says, well, you know, they're questioning the moon landing. So I looked into it. I'm a very curious person. So I looked into that, and all I kept seeing was this stuff like bubbles in space, an air bubble going up the astronaut's helmet. So how does that happen? You know why? Because of this, right there. They are in this big desalinated pool, and that's why these bubbles go up their helmets. When they're outside of the so-called space station, which is right inside that pool,
So, how do you?
you'll see that, okay? When they're inside the space station, they use harnesses, wires, and the vomit comet. You ever hear the vomit comet? It's a hyperbolic plane, parabolic plane.
How do you
So
explain?
if there's no outer space, why would
One
you
at a
move the
time.
sun?
Okay, all right, here's the moon and the sun. This is the way they go, right here. They are very close and small, and they go around the circle of the Earth.
But where are they located? What is it called? Where it's located?
Are they flat?
That is just the atmosphere, because,
Wait, but
okay, let's,
explain
I understand.
how they keep their place up there.
Okay, everything is within the dome, and there is a dome. Yeah.
We can't die.
If you want if you want to know if there's a dome, look up something called lightning sprites. Lightning sprites, they come off of the dome, and we have a lot of evidence like sundogs and rainbows are because of the
I
dome.
have a question. Can you explain the curve in the atmosphere?
I can't hear you.
Can you explain the curve in the atmosphere?
The
Curve
curve?
in the atmosphere.
Where's the
From
curve in the
here-
atmosphere?
From here, down here on Earth, on ground, you see an airplane flying, and it always looks as if it's going up. But truly, it's the curve in the atmosphere because it's going so far. Can you explain
Hold it
the
now.
curve in the atmosphere
All right, when
and
I
the
see
Earth?
when I see like an airplane go off in the distance, it looks like it's going down.
No, it looks like it's going up.
No, I think you're mistaken there.
I seen some shit go up. Y'all thought it was a spaceship.
Sure.
I have a friend in the military. He is a sniper. He's actually told me when they learn, the final thing they learn before, other than camouflage, is they need to do wind and gravity and stuff. The final thing they learn is the Earth's rotation. It's the ultimate final. Many shots we missed because of it. Do you have any solution for that?
He's talking about the Coriolis effect. And centrifugal force. Where's the Coriolis? Oh, here. That above the equator they turn one way, below it turns another way, and all that. That's garbage. It's garbage. We do not ascribe to anything like that. It's all the way the toilets are made. I don't agree with that.
We are curious.
Okay. I don't know. The deepest hole we ever dug was 8 miles. Okay, so we don't know. How would anyone know that the center of the Earth is molten if we only ever dug 8 miles?
How can you make the claim that it's not?
How can you make the claim?
You're making a lot of.
I'm not talking about anything below. All I'm saying is that surface is flat.
You're making a lot
The
of.
surface is flat. That's all I go. I don't do anything past that.
Is there any record of anyone falling off
Flat.
the Earth?
No. I understand it's flat. It's two-dimensional. But what
Okay.
shape is the plane?
The shape is this, right
How do
here
we
on the
know
card.
that? Why is it not a triangle?
Well, because
How do we
Captain
know it's square?
Cook, who logged in 60,000 miles, he did not report any right angles or even 60-degree angles.
What happens if the triangle is larger than the area that you?
Okay, if you're going to start asking like funny questions, I'm going to have to not listen to you. Because there's people here who have serious questions. He was next.
One of them said, right?
What was that?
Moon flat too.
No, I don't think so. But I'll tell you what the moon is. It's not like solid ground. I think it's like a filament. A filament. Like the inside of a light bulb, when electricity passes through it, it glows. That's what I think it is. But I cannot prove that. I'm only giving you an assumption.
So with the tides.
Okay, you had the one. Be after him. What?
So what would be the purpose of them lying to us about this?
Okay, so here he asked, what's the purpose of this? Okay, so if you have a random spinning ball with the Big Bang, and everything just happened by accident, then we are also an accident.
Excuse me. First of all,
Right? Right? Isn't that right? So what are we taught?
She's talking about I'm here for a reason.
Okay, aren't we taught evolution? All right, what is evolution? It's mutations. So we're even worse than an accident. We're a mutant. Okay, so what if, hello? What if there's a flat plane with a dome, and that was constructed on purpose? It had to have a designer. It had to be made. I don't know who made it. I'm not going there. I don't teach that. But in order to do that, then we had to also have been made and put there.
Listen, my guy.
Okay, that's what this is about. What?
So I'm looking at your diagram here.
Which one?
So I'm looking at your section right here.
Okay.
If the Earth is supposedly flat, how could you get to easy transportation from, say, if we lived here, wherever, we could easily just walk across to the next part of the...
Well, there are a lot of land bridges, you know, and you know what?
We take the air travel to get from one continent to the other. We take the train, we take the airplane to Philadelphia. We take it.
Okay, so what's the question? Why can't it be?
So why are we wasting so much gasoline and fuel if the Earth is supposedly flat?
Okay, well, I don't think that there's any difference between being on a globe and being on the flat plane when it comes to air travel, except that these spots like South Africa and South America are a little farther apart. And from here to here, it's a little farther. Did you know that all airplanes go above the equator to go back down south? They claim it's a refueling stop, but if it was really a globe, excuse me, I have a globe here. If it was really a globe, then these bottom ones would be really close. So why don't they just go zoop, zoop right over? They don't.
There's a thing called the continental drift, that the continents were all one.
Well, honey, that has nothing to do with air travel today.
Yeah, but still.
I know this is very disturbing, but don't get upset. Just start thinking. Start thinking. That's all. Yes, sir.
And all probably all the ships that mysteriously go missing, did they fall off the Earth?
That's what they want you to think. That's what they put out there. They put that out there, don't they? They mock it, but they don't want you to know. Did you get one of these? I don't remember seeing you.
No, because I'm smart and I know the Earth isn't flat.
Yeah, well, look into this, because I'm very smart too. Okay, I'm very smart. My father.
I have looked into it because I'm very into conspiracy theories
Yeah,
and all that kind of
cool. Cool, then show me the curve. Show me the curvature. This is the formula.
how's there gonna
When
be a
you
curve
go
if you're
down,
holding it
when you
straight?
go down to Wildwood, look to Atlantic City. If you can see it, then there's no curvature. Why is
Your
that?
eyes can't see that far.
You can. I can see
literally
it.
can.
I've been there 3 times with my group this year. You look on my channel, Maryland Spirit Level, and you will see our Ocean City videos.
I have a question.
Okay.
So you say the Earth is flat, but has there been any record of anyone falling off of Earth, dropping something off the Earth?
So if it's flat, you would stop.
This is the stop. Right there. Antarctica is the end. That's all I'm going to teach.
Fucking ice?
If you want to curse and just, make fun, then I'm not interested in speaking with you. All right?
Speech, remember?
But if you...
I'm free to express myself.
This is Antarctica, 200 feet high, the ice wall.
Okay, so if the Earth is flat
then why is the sky blue? Because the reason the sky blue,
says that you can see the
science tells us that the reason the sky is blue is because the light rays from the sun come in at an angle to the globe Earth and refract off of the angle.
So it's the reflected ocean?
No, it's refracted.
Oh, through the prism?
Atmosphere.
Through the prism.
No, through the atmosphere of the Earth, which acts as a prism.
Okay.
So why is the sky blue?
Okay, so that's the ball explanation for that, correct? There is another explanation that above the dome there is water, and the dome itself is made of a blue material.
So we are submerged in water?
So you just think
Ancient documents say that there is water above and water below. That's what ancient documents say. So you can believe that or not, take it into consideration or not. The only thing you have to know is that there is no curvature. You go right back to that, and then you say that's step one. Okay? There's no curvature, step one. So if they're going to lie about no curvature, then what's the next step? I'm going to look into that now. You cannot possibly understand this all today.
I got a question. How come when airplanes, not airplanes, what are they called? No, the things that go up in space. Rockets, yeah. How come when they go up in space, they can literally see that the Earth is a circle? Like they know,
Okay.
and all the other planets are all circles.
Honey, you haven't been here.
That's exactly right. You are exactly right. 100%.
Exactly, I'm right. They're
They
literally
are circles.
They're circles. Listen,
Circles.
They're round.
No, there's a difference in definition between circle and round and sphere. You have to know.
She's trying to say it's a sphere.
why are you testing our collegiate
The Soviet Union has proven
only-
that the Earth has been a
We're
round Earth.
educated students.
I didn't hear a thing you said. Say it again.
The Soviet Union has proven that the Earth is a round place, but Sputnik and the cosmonauts, you were insulting the Yuri Gagarin and the Soviet Union who is...
Yes, I'm insulting them? Okay. They're insulting me by telling me it's a sphere when it's not.
If it wasn't a sphere, wouldn't we be constantly falling?
From the Earth being
Okay.
So the water just.
First off, if you understand the curvature formula, then you will say, I'm going to go find curvature. But if you're just, emotional about this, you're not going to go looking for curvature because you don't want to know. You don't want your world upset.
Mike?
Okay?
So do you just deal with the Earth, or do you
The plant. I've been trying
come and talk about different stuff?
Somebody please let him talk.
This guy was next, and then I'll get to you.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay, so just can you explain what you think? I'm going to say what you think. What is it that makes us stay to the ground? Because I know gravity
Okay.
is something that is debatable apparently.
It is.
What is it that prevents us from hitting the dome with our planes? Because if the dome is
Right.
if the dome is locked on the edge, as you would get closer to the edge of the ice wall, the dome would get closer and closer.
Correct.
You said it's a dome, not a cylinder.
Okay. Can you all back up here? I need to use some banners to explain his question, and it's an excellent question. It was very thought out, and he's a smart guy. Okay. So look. So we have. You have the dome. Now, where did you start with that question? You started
I
with.
said, what is it that's keeping?
Keeping us. All right. So first off, I agree that things drop, and there is a rate of fall. So I agree with that. Now you say it falls because of gravity. I say it falls because of something else.
Because of what, though?
Okay. What?
Do you know?
I don't have a fact, but you know what? The gravity is only a theory. That they don't know that either. It's a theory of gravity. Okay? So, no, only the rate of fall was proven. The gravity itself was not proven. And you cannot have magnetism with a molten liquid. So you can't even do that. So,
You can. I can show you what happening.
if you get above a certain temperature, it loses magnetism.
If you have molten mercury, which is liquid at room temperature, and you place a battery into it, it'll spin. because the magnetism.
Mercury is liquid. It doesn't mean it's molten.
It's liquid at room temperature. Molten. Just means
Molten,
liquid.
I said above a certain temperature. Now, we're going on to the next part of this, which is what could possibly be holding us down on the ground. All right? I believe, and this is my theory.
Yeah, no, there's strings that I'm.
Fake. So she's talking about the sun.
No, only a dumb puppet would be that. Are you saying that's what you are? Okay. So we have. I believe that we live inside a torus field. Do you know what a torus field is?
I know what a torus is, and I know what a field is, but I don't know what you're describing.
Is it a torus?
A toroidal field. Okay, I believe that's what we live inside, and it comes up through the North Pole because all the flights are not allowed to go over the North Pole. All flights are directed around the North Pole. You can only get so close. Ancient maps show there is land at the North Pole, but modern maps do not. They blur that out. You are not allowed to know what's there.
Like maybe like Pangea.
Maybe they're hiding it. Okay?
Maybe there's nothing.
Whatever you want to believe, I don't care. You believe what you want. So that it comes up, and it's like a donut with the center cut out. It comes up out, and then it goes around. This free-flowing electricity goes through the filament of the sun, and that's what charges the sun up. And that's about a positive charge. Then the moon is a negative charge because the moon gives its own light. Okay, I know this is a little bit over your heads, guys, but that's part of it. That's what I'm saying. So it's diamagnetism which is holding us down. We're being pushed down, not being pulled down.
So he's being pushed down.
Right here. Right here. Diamagnetism.
So magnetism is affected by it's the inverse square root. As you move further away from a magnet, the proportional strength of it decreases as you get further away. So why don't we experience this as we get further up?
How do you know that?
Because you can test that. You can hold a magnet, and as you move things closer and closer, the field obviously gets exponentially stronger.
So
you could attach a scale behind it.
Okay, so did you already go past step 1?
What do you mean? I'm not agreeing with your premise. I'm trying to understand.
Okay, so you can stand here and you can try and prove me wrong on everything above the earth.
So you're
but
conceding the point then.
I'm not conceding anything. What I'm saying is you cannot prove curvature anywhere. So you have to ask a. No, you should though.
I'm not though.
But you can't have any kind of discussion without going to step 1 first.
Well, no, that's the point you're trying to prove. I'm trying to get to the things that you're using as evidence. And
I'm saying that was my theory, and I really shouldn't go into that because.
I've been here for like 5 seconds, and I can already tell you your theory is wrong though. Because
but you can't.
Magnetism is affected by it's the inverse square of distance.
So what?
So as magnets move closer together,
so what? What? So what?
So if magnetism
does that make curvature?
I'm not. We're still not on curvature. I'm not even there yet.
Yeah. No, you have to go to step 1 first.
If the Earth is actually round, how come this pamphlet isn't shaped like this? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Think about it, okay? All right, here. Hold on. Another argument here for you. All right, ready? So look, if you pour some of this water down here, goes down a straight path. See, if the Earth was spinning on this like crazy
put the lid on that, and I'm going to do an experiment.
It would spray everywhere. Okay?
You know what?
That's why the Earth
you
is
can get
flat.
your own banners and stand over there and preach your own thing. Now, turn your bottle sideways. Turn your bottle sideways.
Absolutely.
Now, look at the surface of that water.
That's because we're standing on a.
It is flat.
Exactly.
Okay. Now.
Are you on the other side?
The oceans are all flat with each other.
See?
You know what? The Suez Canal is 100 miles of flat. You know what? I would appreciate it if you get your own banner over there.
All right, I'm going to start.
Okay. All right, go ahead.
Thank you.
My question, what you said.
Regarding his point about the water.
Can he ask his question first? Okay, thank you.
Your point. My point was that you said how it's a circle, but it's flat, and how the moon has filament and all that stuff, and the sun has filament, and how if space doesn't exist,
right?
The Earth the Earth should have been fallen per se, because technically there's no mass under it. There's no mass in the moon.
I don't know what's under the Earth. I just know the surface is flat. I told you I didn't know. I also told you that we only dug a hole 8 miles deep, and nobody knows beyond that.
But if you
didn't
dig any deeper, then how
wait,
would you know?
So if you're saying,
How would I know what? That the surface is flat?
Yes, because if it was flat.
No. No. Go ahead.
So regarding his thing in the water, say you're in a car, right? The car is moving 50 miles an hour.
Right.
The car comes to a sudden stop. You're still going 50 miles an hour.
Okay.
So the reason that the water does not go everywhere is because we all are in a constant state of movement on the Earth.
Okay.
As it spins.
I understand that theory.
Well, it's the same logic as, when the car stops,
Okay.
you're still going.
So now look at the orbit around the sun. The orbit around the sun says you're going. It's like the whip at the amusement park. You ever been on that ride? There's sometimes you're going along, but then sometimes it goes faster. If you look at the rotation and the orbit, at least you know and feel that certain times of the year we are moving faster than other times of the year.
Again, though, it comes down to a sense where it might be so out of our grasp of perception.
And that's the way they explain everything, is that it's millions and millions of miles, or it's too big for us to understand, and we're so stupid.
Well, think about it like this.
Now, tell me something else. Why isn't there water all gathered around the equator? If there's centrifugal force, why aren't we weighing less at the equator? Where's all the water gathered? There's no centrifugal force up here at the pole. But down here at the equator, 1,000 miles an hour is spinning. 1,000 miles an hour. The equator is 24,901. It's a 24-hour day. That's 1,000 miles an hour.
Well, at the same time, it's just part of the fact that it's such a large volume.
Yeah, and it's too big for us to understand. Really? Well, guess what? This curvature formula goes right down to the mile. And when I'm down at Wildwood, I can see Atlantic City 32.6 miles away. That should be hidden under 681 feet of curvature, and it's not. We have cameras that can zoom in 85 miles now. And the average people can buy them. So there's something we're finding out that we don't like. We think we've been lied to. And if you look at that website on the card, you can look at these. You can look at all that information and just think for yourself and decide for yourself.
I suppose so.
Okay? Thank you.
All right, let's say if they were lying, right? How would this knowledge change our existence?
Well, first off, we would know they were lying. If they will lie about the ground under our feet, they'll lie about anything, won't they? First off, then that makes us, we're not mutants.
Honestly, how much would it cost to take all of them to space?
That would change things in people's mind. They wouldn't be hurting their fellow man. I think a lot of things would change. I've lived a long time. I'm a lot older than I look. And things would change in society if we were loving each other more.
Are you guys professors?
I have a question for you.
All right, what?
So there's the crust, the core, the inner core, all that stuff of the Earth that was proven by actual scientists.
No. I disagree with that totally. It's not been proven at all.
I'm not finished speaking. So if the Earth is flat, where is it? Where's the crust? Where's the inner core? Where's the outer core? Where's all that? If the Earth is supposedly flat.
That's your ball. That's your ball that you worship. You worship this ball. You worship this ball because that's what you believe.
Because
what you believe. No, there isn't.
Proof of this?
Yeah.
Wait,
that's what you believe, dear.
There's actual physical proof. I have a question. Wait. So you're telling me that everybody basically on Earth, except for a few select people, missed that the Earth was flat? Like nobody ever peeped?
No, I believe this. I'm going to tell you. I believed this for 59 and a half years. I went through college. My father was a math teacher, my son a physics major, and I went through my whole life, 59 and a half years, believing this ball. And when I heard this, I started to research it, and it took me several months to figure out, and I'm still looking for curvature, and I am elated to know that there is no curvature.
I have a question. How come?
Very valid.
Did you get one?
Yeah, sure.
This is about as logical.
Okay, what's your question? Do you have a question?
Honestly, like the fact that you're standing up against so many people disagreeing with you, you have a really valid point. I understand that.
Wait,
And, like,
Don't interrupt. Wait.
go wrong.
yeah. What?
Don't even start.
Wait. He respects that someone has an opinion and can stand up for it, and that's what we all should do.
I respect your opinion, but I have a question.
No, do you have something else?
Honestly, honestly, like I've been thinking about this for a long time, and just that, like, now someone agrees with me and has the same views as me. Like, the Earth is honestly flat. It is for sure.
I think it is too.
It is. That's honestly, what curvature is there?
We can't find curvature anywhere.
Exactly.
There is no curvature.
Can I see this?
Yo, Tracy, that stick don't prove shit, bro.
No, that doesn't mean a concrete is flat. It's definitely on an angle. But this is the curvature. Look, the formula, 8 inches times a mile squared. And look, at 10 miles, it should be 66.6. Okay, you have to know that's made up.
Oh, true.
Okay?
Yeah, bro, someone made up math.
I can't allow anybody to take this, okay?
Yeah, bro, someone made a mess.
So is there any other question?
Yes, I have a question. How come when people go up in rockets in space, how come the gravity just goes whoop, whoop?
Okay, you said a couple of things in that question.
How come when the people
And first off, I don't know what boop means. All right? This is right here. Right here, this is the rockets that go up. Excuse me, back up a little bit. These are the rockets that go up. They always curve.
But they curve.
Yeah.
They curve.
Why aren't they going straight up? And you know what's out there? Guess what's out there? Guess where they land?
There's actually a good reason.
In the Bermuda Triangle.
Where's the
Everybody says, whoa, right? Why is that? Why do they all go? Because the government wants you to believe anywhere they don't want you to go, they make it sound scary. They say, okay, North Pole, everybody dies when they go to the North Pole, right? Don't go there. Everybody dies.
Yeah, Santa must be living his best life. I've never heard him. Wait, maybe that's why they don't want us to go to the North Pole.
Did you get one?
So if gravity's always pulling us down.
I think we're being pushed down, not pulled down.
Pushed down. So what's this? And you're saying there's filament. You're saying there's filament in the moon.
The sun and the moon are filaments.
Okay.
And they're very close.
So what would be? So as we're being pushed down, right? You said. So since when they as filament, wouldn't it be lighter than the Earth? Did you say?
Did you ever look into quantum physics?
No, not yet.
Okay. Quantum physics, there is a video. All this stuff you can look on YouTube. There's a video about the quantum physics where a super chilled disk can follow suspended in air.
I actually do know about that.
It can follow a metal track, okay?
Yeah, but
And you can turn it, and it will. You put something, it'll jump over it.
The one flaw with that you contradict yourself by saying is, if you say we're being pushed down, the only thing with that, if it's suspended in air, as soon as an outside force is pushed down upon it, it stops the spinning motion, and it can be stopped. So
does that change that there's no curvature?
No, that changes the
I
fact.
I cannot prove
That changes the fact that the sun
anything. I cannot prove. I told you I cannot prove that. But I can prove there's no curvature.
The way you have your model set up, that means the Earth.
No, that's just, it's an example, and we can't prove that.
But we can because we've been in space.
No, we have not, Darren.
Yes, we have.
No.
We may not have been in space the first time we went to space, like,
into the Earth
moon
over and
landing was
over
fake,
again.
but like we've been to
And the
space.
Earth.
You have a wild imagination.
No, I have a scientific fact, not an internet.
How you explain the satellite?
Wait, where did you get all this
Convex Earth.
Where did you get all this information?
No, because there's no curvature. And for convexity, there has to be curvature, and there is no curvature.
You never answered. You never answered my question. What up?
Well, you didn't have a question.
Just like I said, why isn't the moon and the sun consistently crashing into the Earth Because in this theory, technically with gravitational pull, the way it works, it would never crash. You're saying you're saying we're being pushed down, not pulled. You're saying quantum physics. If this was on quantum
the sun and the moon. Look,
it's rotating basically.
there's an ancient. No, I understand.
Text writing.
I understand.
There's an ancient text writings where these two are being pushed. If this is pushed down, we would die right now.
Anyone like this? Would you like one? You're not okay until you know that you live on a flat plane.
Earth is real.
Now you get one? Okay. You want one? I thought you had one.
I want to know from my
So listen. Sorry. So you know, this is an example. We can't prove what is forcing the sun and the moon. However, there is an ancient document.
Right.
There's an ancient document called the Book of Enoch. It's not in the Bible, but it talks about the gates of the sun. It's on a circuit, a circuit. That's all we know. We don't know what is doing all that. But I do know there is no curvature.
So can I ask? You said the moon.
Wait, do you want one? Sure. Two?
Do you know what taurine is? Do you know what? Thank you.
Sure.
So you said the moon is powered from the diamagnetic field. Is that what you're saying?
The moon is powered from the toroidal field, and there's free-flowing electricity up there, which Tesla proved.
Okay, so then what is it that causes lunar cycles then? Why is it that the moon will lose power partially and then gain power back at a repeatable pattern? Isn't this something that?
Yeah, we heard about that, and we don't know exactly. There could be it's a recharging of it or something. It's I don't know.
Honestly, if you think about it, does the Earth even rotate around the sun, or does the sun rotate around the Earth?
I'm gonna put to y'all what she
The sun and the moon
It's a pool, y'all. It's a pool.
go above the Earth. They are above the Earth. All right, do you want me to say something to make them all scream?
What?
I believe the sun is only 9.3 miles above the surface of the Earth.
Which we would be on fire.
Wait, I have a question.
No.
Why do you think that?
We would be on fire. I'm sorry, but you like
They are.
The
Think about
government
it.
is a shit.
All the answers are here.
It's different than what you believe, but there's something to that.